I'm going to start off with this, not today, Satan. So today is going to be amazing. I started doing my video and apparently Facebook on my laptop crashed. So I went to my phone. This message I need to come out and so I always knew that I was destined for something, and I didn't know what it was I was destined for. I didn't know what it was that I was called to do. And I wanted to be a lawyer. I went to school. I went over to UTA. I was there for 2 semesters, and that's what I wanted to do, but I never saw myself as a lawyer. I mean, yes, I love to argue and I thought I'd be good at it, but I never saw myself as a lawyer. I worked in pharmacy for a long time. That was one of my major first jobs, was pharmacy. But I never saw myself being a pharmacist. I never saw myself staying there forever. I just knew that was my stepping stone to go somewhere else. My look was always to go somewhere else. I just didn't know where I wanted to go. I always so after pharmacy, I went into cell phones, and I worked for AT&T, T-Mobile, and Verizon. And I never saw myself as a store manager. I never saw myself of getting up into the ranks and doing training. I never saw myself doing any of that. And I never went anywhere with that. And I ended up getting laid off in 2009. I kind of took a break and I went to school full time after 2009. And that's when I went to UTA. And I really just don't know about what I wanted to do. I started working at Justin in 2019. I worked for Justin for 7 years. I really did love my job. I loved the people. And then I started to hate my job. I didn't hate the people. I just didn't always like them. I just knew I wanted something more, and I never knew what it was because I never found what I needed there. When I decided to quit Justin and leave, I decided I wanted to be a process server because I wanted something different. I wanted to be able to work for myself, and I wanted to be able to show everyone and myself that I could do anything that I put my mind to, that I could make as much money as I wanted to make. I didn't want it to be set on this is what our pay range is, and you only get paid to this amount no matter what you do and how well you do it, or who you help, or how many other jobs you're doing. This is all you're ever going to be worth is $12.50 an hour, $15.50 an hour, $20 an hour. I didn't want my worth defined by someone else. When I became a process server, I was making very good money because I was working for myself. Did I see myself doing it forever? No. I wanted to be able to get to the point where I could do what I wanted to do and financially be stable and not have to check my bank account every day and not have to check to see, can we buy groceries? Can we actually go out to eat this weekend? I lost my job. Again, I lost my job. COVID hit. Then the scary part and everything else that's going on. And, I didn't know where to go, and I got introduced to Scentsy again. Now I have had Scentsy warmers. I've had Scentsy wax, and I loved it, but I've always felt like I could never afford it. If Lisa had not contacted me, if Lisa had not asked me those 3 times, and maybe it was in my weak moment of like, fine, I'm going to give you 3 months. That's it. I'm going to give you 3 months. It's free for 3 months. It was a $20 kit. Guys, I see where I'm going to be. I see what I'm striving for. I want to be an SSD. I feel important in this company. I feel like I have so much to give and to offer, and there's so much to learn. And I learn stuff new every single day. I learn from essential consultants coming in. I learn from, when you get certified, I feel the energy and I feel the drive and the want, and it makes me want it more. Because I love helping people. I love being able to teach people. I love being able to get people to what they need and what they want. And I have a way to show you how to do that. I've always wanted to have that place where I knew I belonged and I belong. I have found my happy place. I have found the place where I belong. We aren't all cookie cutters. I did the jewelry stuff for a while, but they were all starting to look the same. They all dressed the same. They all were wearing the same jewelry. I did makeup, and the thing is that I'm horrible. Like this makeup, I taught myself how to put makeup on, but I wasn't those cookie cutter Barbies. I always called them Barbies because they're so gorgeous and they're always so put together. Barbie always looks put together, unless you give it to a 3-year-old and then she looks like a crazy mess. Through Scentsy, you don't have to look like anybody else. You don't have to be like anybody else. You can customize your business to you, and you can run it the way that you want to run it. You can make it about you. You can build off of you, your strengths. A lot of people are really great at being face to face. A lot of people are really great at being at vendor events, and really great at just marketing through the different social platforms, or getting on YouTube and creating the content and putting all the videos together. They can build off of what is their best attributes to them, and they can grow a business. I have found my happy place. I have found my place I want to be. I have found that the satisfaction of getting someone new coming in and asking questions and wanting more. I absolutely love that. I love the spark. I love being able to collaborate and be like, hey, why don't we try this? And like, ooh, and then we all tweak it a little bit and we find a way and it works. And sometimes we find ways that it doesn't work, but that's okay, because again, we do not fail. We find the way not to do it. We knew that there's something else that needs to be added, something else that needs to be changed, something else that needs to be worded differently, pictured different, or put at a different time, or whatever. There's never a perfect solution. Like, I can't tell you guys, if you post this at 3 o'clock, you're going to make $1 million. I don't have that formula. Nobody has that formula, because then it would just be easy. Everybody would be doing it. Then if everybody's doing it, then it's not going to be unique anymore. If you guys try to run your business the way that I run my business, it's not going to work for you. You're going to find that you have ways that it's not working. You have things that are not good, like they're not easy for you. Talking through social media, text messaging and going through Facebook Messenger is easy for me. Being able to do lives is easier for me. It wasn't easy in the beginning because I was scared, but you know, it's one of those things that I just keep doing it. It becomes easier every time. Guys, I still get my stomach in a knots, and I still have almost a panic attack right before I go, but I just go, because I know that no matter how messed up my words get, or what I stumble over, or what I can't remember what to say, it will all come out some way. Most of you know me on a personal level, so you know that I do not always have the right thing to say. I don't always have the perfect thing to say. I did try to write some notes, and, you know, it's kind of like this, is that, you know, I was watching Steve Harvey, and he put imagination as everything. Imagination is the preview of your life's coming attractions. You guys have to have an imagination. You have to have a goal. You have to have a dream, and dream big. Like, dreaming big, like, not just to pay your rent. God is a miraculous God, and he will do all things through you. If you dream small, you're going to get small. Dream big and get big. I mean, you know, just saying, I just want enough to pay rent. I just want enough to get by. I just want enough. That's not enough for me. I don't want to just be able to pay bills. I want to be able to live. Since he blessed me with able to let me go on a vacation this year with my kids, I haven't done that since 2011. It's been a long time. A long time. Or 2009. It was 2009. I can't remember now. It was 11 years ago. What is that? Anyways, so, but that's just the whole thing, is that I was able to travel. You know, there's goals set in place. There's things in here that are obtainable. Anybody can go on the Alaskan cruise, guys. Anybody can go, but you have to want to go. It's not going to they're not just giving out tickets for free. You still have to work your business. You still have to work. I mean, you have to find time to work. You have to find time to manage, to be able to do the things, but don't do all the things. Pick one thing. Pick one thing. When you first start, your biggest thing is to be able to contact everybody you know and letting them know that you sell Scentsy. That is your only goal in your first 70 days. Contact everybody, let them know that you're selling Scentsy. 70 days. If you did that, if you talk to one person every day for your first 70 days, that's 70 people you've contacted. That's 70 people that you've talked to about Scentsy. I don't ever do anything small. I do everything big. So I don't ever want you to compare my path to yours, because you have not lived my life. You have not gone down the journey that I've gone down. You do not have the obstacles that I have. Just like I don't have the obstacles that you have. I can help you in any which way or form, but I know today is going to be amazing. Today is going to be the day that changes everything. Because your mindset changes the way you live. Your mindset changes the way that you talk. Your mindset changes the people you hang around. If you're the smartest person in the room, you're hanging out in the wrong room. You need to learn and grow. You need to build up your knowledge of things, of life. If you want to be the best at something, you train it every day. When you talk to the great athletes of any sport, they don't just say, hey, I woke up one day and I was perfect at basketball and I was able to hit home runs every time I came up to bat. I mean, you look at Babe Ruth. He had more strikeouts than anybody else, but he had the most grand slams and home runs. The people that are successful in things learn how to fail well, how to fail forward. So you fail at things, but you learn how when to fall, you fall forward. You don't fall back. You don't stumble back. You push forward. You learn how not to do things. You learn how to strive for something more. You learn how to build from a solid foundation. You learn how when you stumble and fall, what do you do next? You get back up, you dust yourself off, and you look at your course. You don't always have to take the most difficult course, but you don't take the course of someone else who has been doing this forever. You don't start running a marathon the first day you put on your tennis shoes. So you don't follow the path of someone who is doing a marathon, who has been training for 10, 15, 20 years. You have to start somewhere, but getting up, moving around, putting on those shoes is where you start. You can't follow my path. You can't get in my journey and on my path because you haven't been where I've been. We all have the same destination, but sometimes there's the squirrely roads. Sometimes there's uphill battles and downhill battles. Sometimes there's just like, it's a slide. It's a water slide and you're getting to have fun. And sometimes you have to get back up on that ladder to get back to that water slide. So sometimes you have to work harder just to have that moment of joy, that moment of satisfaction, the moment of just that moment of having great progression. Steve Harvey also talks about that there's always a glass cap. There's always like a glass roof. And it's there for you to be able to see what is beyond where you're at. You have to break through, but what happens when you break glass? You get cut. You can't take everything with you whenever you break through that glass. That means the possessions you have, the friends you have, the things that you surround yourself, not everything gets to go, because the only way to grow and to move forward is to leave something behind. That doesn't always mean that I'm saying that you have to leave your bag off to the side. Doesn't mean, but I'm saying that not everything comes with you. As I've started to grow with like my business and I've started talking to other star directors and other directors, and my circle of friends have changed. I'm not still hanging out with everybody at the bar. They're still my friends. And some of them are still my acquaintances. I still talk to them every time I see them, and they would still will message and see how I'm doing. But I don't hang out with them every single day. I was hanging out in a bar every single day, guys. Every day, because I was trying to find that thing, that something. I was filling my emptiness with alcohol and just having a good time that was temporary, because the next day as I got older, that next day, that hangover was longer and longer. I'm not saying to quit drinking alcohol. I'm not saying to quit having fun with your friends. What I'm saying is that there's times to grow and there's times that you have to take accountability for the things that you're doing. If you want your business to grow, then you need to make sure that you're working on the 3 legs of success. That is the bottom line. You have to talk to people. You have to reach out to people. You have to sell. You don't have to ask everybody about how their mother's doing and their grandmother and their kids and their dogs and everything else. Amazon sells. Walmart sells. They don't call and ask you how you're doing, but they do follow up. They do have an email. So you have to at least do the basics. You have to get a sell. You have to make sure you keep that sell, because if they don't like you, it's just like if you don't like Walmart, you go to Amazon. If you don't like Amazon, you'll go to, another box store. You always have to do something. So today is going to be an amazing day. Take accountability. Look in a mirror and tell yourself, you are amazing. You are beautiful. You are powerful. And you can do anything that you choose to do. All right, guys, I'm going to get off my soapbox. I love you all. I have an event today, so I will be out of pocket this evening. But if you guys need anything, just text me and I'll text you as soon as I can. All right, love you guys. Bye.